Petersham kids. I am so excited that you are able to join us online for Kids Connect. Petersham Kids is an awesome children's program filled with lots of fun and amazing God moments. I can't wait for you to see what we have planned for you today. So let's jump right into it.
Hi, my name is Peter and I'm one of the kids leaders. Today's theme for Kids Connect is to be fearless. I want you to get excited because one of our amazing leaders is going to show you something very, very cool. 1 Samuel 17. David and Goliath. We learn that the Israelites and Philistines were at war. There was a big and strong giant named Goliath who challenged the Israelites and said if any of their soldiers could beat him at war, the Philistines would leave the Israelites alone and serve them. But if no one could beat Goliath, then the Israelites had to serve the Philistines. For 40 days, Goliath would come out to the front of the battlefield and wait for someone to beat him. The Israelites were scared of Goliath and no one could beat him. Then one day, a young boy named David, who was the youngest of 8 boys, stepped over the line and was ready to fight Goliath. He laughed because David was small. However, this didn't faze David and he wasn't fearful as he knew God would protect him. Goliath raised his sword and came towards him. Then David used his slingshot and stone, and with one swing, the stone hit Goliath in the head and killed him.
How crazy was that story? Can you believe that David beat Goliath just with a little stone? Now, that situation should have made anyone afraid, but David wasn't afraid. And that's because he knew that God was there to protect him. So today we're going to do a craft that you can do at home. All you need is a stone and a couple of paints. What we're going to do first is we get this stone and just cover it with 1 layer or 2 of paints. Now you can use any paints you want. I've got some blue and I've got some pink, but it's really up to you. You can do different colors, you can do one color, you can be as creative as you like. So now that I've got my 1 layer, I can put this aside and wait for it to dry because there's one more thing I'm going to add to my stone. Thankfully, I have something I prepared earlier, so I'll show you what I have here. So I got my first layer of paint and then I added one more thing. So just like David wasn't afraid, I added, "Do not fear." Now, when we see the stone, we can think about how we do not need to be afraid and how David was able to defeat a giant like Goliath with just a small little stone. So in the same way, he can use us to do great things. So the verse I have for this week is from Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So what that verse is telling us is that we don't need to fear because God will be with us and he can strengthen us and get us through no matter what happens. So when we look at this stone, we can see that we do not need to fear and that just like David managed to beat Goliath with such a small thing, we can beat whatever happens through God's protection. So remember this verse, try to commit it to memory and go throughout any scary time believing that God will protect you.
Okay, so Petersham kids, there are 2 main points that I want you to take home with you. The first point is that you can be fearless. Just like David, how he beat Goliath, you can beat any giant in your life. And that God can use you. You are not too young. David was a young boy and David was used by God. God can use you too. And point 2, no matter what obstacle you may be facing, God can bring you out of it. He can take you out and you can win the battle. Just like how David beat Goliath and won the obstacle, you can do too. Thank you, Petersham kids, for being part of Kids Connect today. Now, parents, if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kids Connect. And if you want to see what the rest of the church is up to, please make sure you subscribe to Petersham Online. Don't forget to follow us on social media as well. Have a great day.